Hey, it's Eric at Tri-State Public Safety. We've been building a few of these West Chester vehicles, 6 in fact, and 2 of them were K9 builds and just 4 regular patrol cars, but this is the last one, and they're on their way to pick it up. And you may have seen a few pictures of the cars and maybe a couple videos floating around out there, but nothing real in depth as far as all the tricks and the features and everything that we did to the car. A couple things that the customer requested, but a few things that we also implemented for them, and I think a couple things that we've never done before also. So stick around, we'll go around the car, we'll point out some of those features, and I think you'll like what you see. Okay, so real quick, this is an entire SoundOff Signal build. So we have a dual color SoundOff Signal M-Power 48-inch light bar on the roof. We have a 4-head SoundOff Signal N-Force light stick on the push bumper. That's blue-white. SoundOff Signal M-Power, I guess I really don't have to say SoundOff Signal. M-Power lights on the sides of the push bumper. The reason we put lights on the sides of the push bumper, some people may not be familiar with this, is because that's the very first thing to cross the plane of an intersection, is a push bumper. So having lights right out there at the forefront of what's crossing that intersection is ideal. And then we'll move to the back of the vehicle and I'll show you some more lights. Right here in the rear side windows or rear quarter glass, whatever you prefer, these are also M-Power lights. They're dual color as well. And we'll get to why they're only flashing blue here in just a second. We have 3-inch dual color M-Power lights mounted on that tailgate. We have a plug-and-play SoundOff taillight flasher. We also upgraded the reverse light, OEM reverse light bulbs to Sylvania LED reverse light bulbs that actually come with a lifetime warranty. So it's a much crisper, pure white color as opposed to the OEM reverse light bulbs actually are kind of a yellow. So those work out pretty well. All right, when you open up the bottom of the hatch, mounted to the very bottom of the hatch itself are also 2 4-inch M-Power lights that are dual color. And just in case the officer's working back here and he does not need those lights on or does not want those lights on, we put a kill switch right here so they can just kill them. This is a 24-inch 8 EVP, great company by the way, light stick, which is switched. So red for nighttime use and then white also for nighttime use, but their choice, either color. And also a Satina seat as well, and these have the outboard seat belts. Just real quick while we're back here, Satina rear cargo barrier with the coated wire mesh for the rear area. For the doors, we have Satina window bars that are metal, obviously, and then we have a Satina partition. And also a Satina seat as well, and these have the outboard seat belts. Okay, inside the vehicle we have a Havas 24-inch console, and again this is all SoundOff build. So we have a SoundOff controller. This is a knob style controller for your siren selection, and then a 3-position pursuit slide switch, as well as multiple buttons for which you can set up however you want to do different things. A PA mic, and then of course we have radar and MDC mount and all kinds of stuff in here. So there's also a dual weapon mount kind of hidden between the two seats attached to the partition. You can see the antenna up there. So pretty basic interior, nothing real crazy going on here. So let's break away and we'll talk more about the lighting. Okay, so here's one option for you that we try to implement as much as possible, really. So anytime the light bar is on, and by the way, this is not relative only to police vehicles. This can be for a fire vehicle or construction or security. It doesn't really matter, but I think it's more relevant to police vehicles. But anyway, so you've got say the officer just did a traffic stop and he's getting ready to exit the vehicle. When he goes to exit the vehicle, he opens up his door and the end cap of the light bar actually shuts off. So if the officer has not come around the door yet and closed the door, he's just standing in between the vehicle and the door itself, maybe still watching the vehicle that he just pulled over. The end cap of the light bar is not just, beating him in the face. And he can keep an eye on the vehicle in front of him and, see what's going on and, decide what he needs to do next. So that's a very good option. This is actually a feature that one of the officers requested that we do. So on a traffic stop at night, they wanted to emit a tremendous amount of floodlight from the vehicle. And we were already going to, implement that because the light bar is dual color, the front light stick is dual color, all the M-powers are dual color, etc. So doing a flood and, scene lighting, we were already going to do that. But he said, hey, I saw something and I'd like you guys to implement it. So we did. So basically what happens is, as long as the headlights are on and the officer's doing a traffic stop, say it's nighttime, whatever, blah, 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 because the headlights are on and he needs additional scene lighting, say the vehicle's already pulled over, all he has to do is literally just hit his brights, tap his brights, and the full front of the light bar goes into flood mode as well as the light stick. And now he's created a wall of light. And then, obviously, to just turn them off, he just hits his high beams and the lights return back to their normal state. But that wall of white light is very effective in keeping that officer safe. The suspects in the vehicle are not going to be able to see him or what he's doing or his exact location, etc. So that's a really good feature to have. Okay, so another feature that we did is, say the officer got a call and he's responding somewhere. So all the lights are flashing blue and white. Say he initiated a traffic stop, let's just say, and the vehicle pulls over, and what happens when he puts the vehicle in park is this. It kills all the flashing white light, including the headlight flasher, and it basically takes it from position 3 on the slide switch on the controller and drops it down to position 2. So there is no white light flashing. If the officer, needs to do a sobriety test or whatever, he can do that without the headlight flasher going, without a bunch of blinding white lights flashing between him and the suspect, and just eliminate that distraction. His lights are still going. They're still doing a great job of keeping him safe and protecting his scene, but the confusion and the distractions of all that white light have been eliminated simply because he put the vehicle in park. And we were talking about left alley, right alley, takedown, flood, all those options. So here's left alley. And this is just what we do. You can do whatever you want. When we hit left alley, this is kind of what we recommend to our customers. It is not only just going to turn on the little baby alley light on your light bar. We make the light on the side of the push bumper turn into flood mode. we illuminate the entire end cap of the light bar instead of just the little baby alley light. So you get a full 180 degree light spread. It's going to look like it's flashing, but it's actually not. And then also the light that's back here in the rear quarter glass that is dual color, he is also now in a flood mode as well. And that is just your left alley light. It's going to be the same thing with the right alley. And then what we did on their takedown button is we created a 2-position takedown button. It's basically a momentary button, which you can do with SoundOff controllers. And you press it once, you'll actually get what we created as a takedown light scenario in the light bar. With a software-based light bar, you can basically do whatever you want to with it. With a non-software-based light bar, which are a lot of light bars on the market, you're very, very limited. So we can do whatever we want with these, and we did. So with the takedown mode, you hit it once and you actually get a couple white lights in the light bar that operate as quote-unquote takedown lights. And then you hit it again, and then that takedown mode becomes a full flood mode to the front of the bar. And then it also kicks on the front light stick as well into full flood mode. And I'll show you that real quick. So let me demonstrate the takedowns for you. Press the takedowns once and you get a couple lights that will operate as takedowns. You press it again, you get the full front of the bar as well as the light stick going into flood mode. Now what we also did is we incorporated a button on the controller to just control the front light stick independent of everything else. Not that this department is, or this area where this department is very, very rural, but they do have some areas that are a little bit of farmland and a little bit of rural areas, but not real crazy. They have highways, a lot of highways through their area. But if they just need extra scene lighting, let's just say that they don't want the full flood mode, but they're just, you know, it's kind of a dark country road or whatever, and their headlights just aren't cutting it. We gave them a button that literally just turns on the front light stick, and they can just use that whenever they want. We typically always incorporate on some level, whether it's police, fire, whatever. We always like to incorporate cruise mode capability because it's pretty important. It's becoming more and more important and widely used, and has been for quite some time now. Typically, cruise lights are, you know, usually only used in like a command type of situation for a large incident or identifying a supervisor vehicle or a command type of vehicle. But they're more widely being used now for simple things like National Night Out or community policing or, you know, parties or events or, you know, PR details or, you know, whatever it is, where you just need to identify the vehicle, but you don't need the lights flashing. No big deal. We put cruise mode. We like to illuminate the entire car in cruise mode because we think that's kind of cool. We didn't have to. We could just do the light bar. We could do what they started doing in 1943, which is doing just the 4 corners of the light bar. You know, some manufacturers still do that. We just think that's old technology. We think it's cool to illuminate the whole light bar, or in this case, the whole car. So I was exaggerating about 1943, by the way. But yeah, so what we do is you hit the cruise button, just one button, boom, controls the whole car, and everything's just on a steady burn cruise mode. The cool thing about this is a full blueprint build, by the way, which is very similar to all you Whalen fanboys, very similar to Cantrol. We just, you know, it's, some people say it's a little bit better, more options and a little bit more affordable, but whatever. And you can adjust the intensity of the cruise mode output and all that kind of stuff. Tons of flexibility with blueprint, and very adaptable to what you want. If you can think of it, it can already do it. and it's probably already 10 years ahead of you anyway. So, but yeah, so this is cruise mode. Just wanted to show you from the back of the vehicle that, you know, we are cruising all the lights, including the rear of the bar. Everything's on cruise mode. Again, you don't have to do this with your agency or, you know, your vehicle, whatever, but we just think it's cool. Of course, the light bar has rear traffic arrow and, you know, all the features that you normally want and need. But the agency did ask us to do something else, and I want to show you that real quick. All right, so here we are. This is position 3. So they're responding somewhere. Obviously, you can see the back of the light bar is dual color blue amber. You can see the reverse lights that we've replaced with LEDs. Those are white. By the way, I don't know if you caught this, but we set up a different flash pattern for position 2 for the rear lights, which everything is automatically synced as well, and they include the sides. So this is position 3, what you're seeing here, and it's just got a little bit faster flash pattern for position 3 because they're responding somewhere. They're doing something that needs a little bit more attention. And then when they get to where they need to be, they throw the vehicle in park. It's going to automatically drop it down to position 2, and will also drop down that flash pattern to a slower rate, slower flash pattern. But this is what the officer asked us to do, so I wanted to show you that real quick. Okay, so basically the officer asked us, hey, is there any way that we can, since the back of the light bar is amber, can we incorporate that into our turn signal? So when we hit our left or right turn signal, it can be included in the back of the light bar. We said yes, of course, and what we did not want to do is, so this is mode 3, position 3 on the slide switch. The officer's responding somewhere. It's a little chaotic back here with everything flashing. What we did not want to do was keep the rear of the light bar on while we're also still trying to let people know that we're now throwing a turn signal in there as well. So this is what happens when the officer turns their turn signal on. It kills the back of the light bar as to not distract them, the people behind them, and they still have ample warning, but it initiates 2 modules on the left or right side, respective of which way they're going, and it's very effective. Gives them a different level of, we're very big on levels here, different level of lighting as far as their turn signals go, and when they straighten up, kill their turn signal, they're right back to where they need to be as far as their light bar goes. We also incorporated through bluePRINT a ignition security system. I'm not going to tell you how it works for obvious reasons, but I will say that they can literally keep the vehicle running and take the key out, and it's all tied through bluePRINT. And so there's no special button. I mean, you just saw it. I didn't work any magic. There's no special button to press. Nothing real crazy you got to do. We work with the agency to kind of lay out what's best for them, but we keep it real simple, and it's very, very effective. Did want to mention that we also installed a light that we call a prisoner light, and so it is of course tied into bluePRINT as well, but when you open up the door, it will illuminate a different color depending on what you've got going on. Here we go. So it is a dual color light. It's actually a little like 3-inch or 3.5-inch Whalen light, dual color red white, and so this makes it nice for you know, obviously nighttime situations when you're transporting a prisoner, and you know, you just want to kind of keep an eye on things, but you don't want to be you want your prisoner visible, but you don't want too much white light back there. No big deal. And here it is in white. You also have a button on the controller to select between red and white also, but they'll automatically come on with either, you know, door open. And then what we also did is, depending on whether or not your headlights are on, which will indicate whether or not it's nighttime, we set that up relative to what color the light will come on as. All right, so this is a quick overview of the Ford utility vehicle for West Chester Police Department, and I hope you guys liked it. We don't do too many of these, and so typically our videos are just a video about the vehicle or about the product, but this one gave you a little bit more detailed information, so hopefully you liked it. But anyway, again, full SoundOff build on this one, and Havas console, all Satina equipment on the inside, and Satina push bumper, if I didn't mention that. But the other thing that I did fail to mention on the light bar is it does have a photo cell on the top, and what we did with bluePRINT is we tied in the photo cell to not only dim the light bar's output, but it's also going to dim the entire vehicle's lighting just by using the photo cell on the light bar. So that's pretty cool. We didn't have to do that. Again, we stay in communication with the agency, and we work out all those details with them about what they would prefer, or what they don't want, or whatever. So anyways, great option from SoundOff, great option through the Empower bar, but just one of those deals that you can tie in with bluePRINT and just kind of bring everything together. So anyway, I'm Eric at Tri-State Public Safety. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope you like the car.